Hey everyone, Eric here. In this video, we're checking out the Collective from Hungry Robot Pedals. The Collective from Hungry Robot Pedals is one pedal that houses two types of fuzz, a sub-octave, a clean blend, a feedback loop, all sorts of insanity. So let's go ahead and just jump into everything. We're going to go from the top to the bottom. We have a few different signals and a few different types of effects going on here. So what the conventional control right up here at the top is a output volume, a level control for our conventional style fuzz. So this is going to be a more like, aggressive style fuzz that we can control the volume or the balance within the pedal on this conventional control. So let's go ahead and, if we turn it down, we're not going to get anything. As we turn it up, we're going to get a louder sound from this conventional style fuzz. I'm going to go ahead and turn that down, and we're going to move to the synthetic control that's directly below the conventional control. Now this controls the level of our synthetic, like kind of synth style glitchy fuzz. So again, if it's all the way down, we don't get anything. As we turn it up, we're going to get more level out of this synthetic fuzz. So you can hear that synthetic fuzz, the synth style fuzz, is a little glitchy, a little more gated, a little less open sounding than the conventional fuzz. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pause on the going downwards, and we're going to talk about the EQ controls because they live right here to the left and right of our conventional and synthetic controls. Now, the EQ controls, we have low spectrum and high spectrum. This is similar to a pedal like the Lumen, where it's based on a state variable filter. So at minimum, we get the flattest response, and from there we can actually boost those controls. So let's go ahead and hear the low control, the low spectrum, but I'm going to go ahead and turn the conventional fuzz up all the way as well, and we can really hear both of those conventional fuzz and synthetic fuzz going side by side, parallel beside each other. So I'm going to go ahead and start on the low spectrum at minimum, and then we're going to go up from there. Now we're going to go to the high spectrum, start at minimum just like we did before, and then go up from there. something like a higher setting on the higher spectrum control could work really well with a darker sounding guitar or like a neck pickup, like a neck humbucker. So now moving on, we have the Pristine control in the middle of the pedal on the bottom row. This is a volume control for our clean signal. So wherever all the other knobs are, we can blend in whatever amount of clean signal we want. So right now I've had it all the way off, but let's go ahead and bump up the Pristine control to hear how it sounds blending in some more clean signal. And now we're going to move on to the right side of the pedal right here, which is the Submerge side. And this is a sub-octave that we can blend in and out with the Submerge control, this foot switch, and this toggle switch right here. Now let's go ahead and just crank up that Submerge to hear what we're getting out of that sub-octave. We can control the Submerge with, again, with this knob right here, the foot switch, and this toggle switch. Now, the foot switch is a momentary foot switch, and the toggle changes the polarity, or like what the foot switch does. So let's go ahead and put the toggle in the down position. So right now what we have is all of the pedal, but no Submerge. And we can kick in the Submerge momentarily by pressing this pedal. Again, with the down position on the toggle, we can press and hold. Once we're pressing and holding, the Submerge is then kicked in. So it's a little easier to do if the pedal was on a pedal board, but you get the point. Now, in the top position, what we're doing is we have the Submerge always on. So right now, if I play with the toggle in the top position, we'll hear Submerge. And what the foot switch now does is when we press and hold it, it takes that Submerge, the sub-octave, out of the circuit until we release the foot switch. Now moving on, we have the overload section right here on the left-hand side of the pedal. We have, again, similar to the Submerge, we have our overload knob, we have a momentary foot switch, and we have our toggle switch. Same with the Submerge. If it's in the down position, our overload section is not doing anything until we press and hold that foot switch. And what the overload does is it creates a feedback loop. So it takes some of our output and feeds it back into the input, and it can give you a lot of cool textures. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the toggle in the top position and turn the overload down. You heard right there, it gets it gets squealy and oscillating. So here's the collective with no overload, and then we're gonna go up from there. As we go, you might see me push that toggle down to the bottom because once you stop playing, it can start to squeal. It gets pretty out of hand pretty quickly, but it does make just chaos. And I really like the fact that you can change the toggle position, like the polarity of the foot switch, how that foot switch operates, because now I have the toggle in the down position, which means there's no overload until I press and hold that momentary foot switch, which is a really cool effect when you're playing. So one really cool tip or like use case or scenario that I wanted to share with everyone was stacking a pedal into the front of the collective. Right now I've got the Lumen, and what I like to do is I like to put my pickup on the neck pickup, roll down the tone completely. Here's the clean sound. Pretty dull, right? But what I like to do is I like to turn on the collective and get that submerge control up pretty far, you know, then boost the front of the collective even more to get a more stable sound and a more synth-like sound into the collective, which then makes it even synthier. So let's go ahead and hear the collective first. And here is the Lumen boosting into the collective. I hope you enjoyed this look at the Collective from Hungry Robot Pedals. If you did, let me know what you thought of the Collective in the comments below, and how would you use it in your rig. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can always head on over to Patreon, just like these folks right here did. These are my Patreon fam, my executive producers. I want to send a huge thank you to all of you. Thank you so much. Your support means the world to me. Again, if you want to help support the channel, I'll leave a link in the description below. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying safe. I'll talk to you in the next video. Take care of yourself.